questions from the audience can be asked by raising your hand, and I think a portable microphone will be provided for you.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and thank you very much for inviting us. So, my name is Gaini. I'm representing Women's Center, and we are an organization working for free trade zone and garment sector, and also for plantation sector workers. So, we have been heard from many speakers about free trade zone, so I'm not going to make any point here. So, I just have two questions. Not a question, comments to make here. Those are, since the Human Rights Commission still exists here as an independent body, we know that there is a national policy on decent work and also when it's come to childcare facilities. So is there any contribution from the Human Rights Commission regarding this? Because we know in free trade zone and other areas also, since we talk about the unpaid care work also, in free trade zone, workers have to leave their children in their 10x10 boarding houses with their elder children because they do not have a proper place or proper daycare centers in the free trade zone. In 2019, there was a kind of proposal from the budget, annual budget, the factories should establish daycare centers for the childcare facilities. But still, the factories are saying they do not earn profit to do such. So I'm not a kind of, we know as women or feminists working in the grassroots level, how these factory owners are earning a lot of money and how they are profiting during the COVID-19 pandemic. And also I wanted to make that the previous two speakers forgot to mention about the GSP plus benefit that we are receiving as a country, Sri Lanka. But none of these benefits are going to the workers. So that point, I just wanted to know what is the kind of intervention of the Human Rights Commission to this national policy on daycare facilities and childcare facilities in Sri Lanka.
Yes, thank you very much, and I hope our commissioners would like to shed a few thoughts on the matter.
It's a very good question. It's a very good question, but I'm sorry that we haven't taken up that matter in our commission. So this, thank you for giving us this information. So we will take up this matter in the commission and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gaine. Are there any more questions?
Sorry for the other question, but since others are silent, I'm just raising my voice. So we know that recently it was passed that ATA-PT Act in Sri Lanka and also the Social Media Regulatory Act. And also we know when it's come to the annual budget of the country, the budget allocation for the women empowerment is very low comparing to other countries. So what is the kind of perspective of the Human Rights Commission on this regard, and what is your action on this?
Could you just repeat the question a little bit in terms of what do you want to know the impact of the ATA and the OSA, or?
You don't have any kind of action against this, or because we know that because of this ATA-PT Act and the Social Media Regulation Act, the shrinking of civic space, the impact to the human rights defenders are very high at the moment. So what is the kind of position of the Human Rights Commission, or what is your action against this?
Thank you. So I think a couple of things. Some of these laws have been passed by Parliament, some of these laws are still in bill stage. So for example, the Online Safety Act has been passed and the Human Rights Commission actually commented on the bill and also commented on the act subsequent to its enactment, raising certain concerns. The ATA also, the Human Rights Commission raised certain concerns on both versions of the bill in March and September last year. But now the bill has been scrutinized by the Supreme Court and it is up to Parliament now to incorporate the views of the Supreme Court in the determination. In terms of the shrinking of civic space, the Human Rights Commission has also recognized that risk. And one of the things that the Commission did recently, it was actually a set of guidelines that were launched on the 11th of December to commemorate Human Rights Day as well, was a set of draft guidelines and recommendations on human rights defenders. And there the specific vulnerability of women human rights defenders was also recognized. This is still in draft stage because what we usually do is we issue a set of guidelines in draft stage, encourage people, including yourself, to comment on the draft and then incorporate the feedback to finalize the draft. So now hopefully this draft can also be finalized and reissued as a formal set of guidelines and recommendations. But it is designed hopefully to create a sort of discourse around the importance of human rights defenders, including women, and encourage the government to take some of those concerns seriously. Of course, these guidelines are non-binding, but I think someone mentioned, Swastika mentioned, sometimes the discursive or the value of these guidelines is create a sort of discourse and public opinion around issues.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.